going to teach you everything that I learned getting to Vanquisher, playing solo Cleric and Arena. By the end, you'll understand how to carry your games as Cleric. This will be especially helpful if you want to dominate in Arena or in High Roller. For context, I decided to play each class to Vanquisher completely solo with random teammates. Struggling with the strengths and weaknesses of each class, I have gained an immense amount of knowledge that I'm going to share with you today. I may be the first person to have ever done this, and I feel that it gives me a unique perspective that you won't get anywhere else. Before we get started, if you want to support this channel, consider subscribing and clicking the like button below. It allows you to stay up to date with all my helpful Dark and Darker videos, and it encourages me to make more. Thank you for your support. Here's a clip from one of our placement games. It's going to highlight how important spacing is and how powerful some of these cleric spells are. Unfortunately, the rogue walked out of our judgment range, which put it on cooldown, but if I manually cancelled it with F, it actually doesn't go on cooldown, so I always try and do that. Trying to prevent him from coming up the stairs with our Holy Strike, and you can see this barb turns his attention to us, and if we let him get close to us and swing that axe on us, we are dead. So our move speed and our spacing needs to be on point. You can see we get him with a Holy Strike, and he turns his attention to our Warlock. Same with the Bard. We're going to look to see if we can help him here. Starting up a Locust Swarm. I was looking for the Bard, but he goes out of range here, and I see the Bard. Perfect opportunity. Take him out with the Locust Swarm. Does so much damage. And then you can see the Barbarian's trying to run. He's probably low based off the way he's playing. We're going to peek the corner wide so he can't hit us with his axe. And we hit him with our Judgment to finish him off. Here's a game in Contender. We're getting really close to Vanquisher, so we really needed this win. We're up one round. Forgot to record the first round. Here's a good tip to know what spells to use when you're playing Cleric. It's actually pretty simple. Just keep an eye on your team's health bars in the bottom left. If your team's low, you should be spamming your heals. If your team is relatively healthy, then you can go on the offensive with your Locust Swarm and your Holy Strikes. It's also really helpful if you have a Cleric on your team to not juke erratically when he's trying to heal you. Like you can see my fighter here stand still. That way we guarantee the heal goes off. Back to the offensive. Looking for Holy Strikes. Getting jumped on by the Wizard. Gonna heal myself for the damage he just dealt. Trying to hit this rogue with my Judgment. And that finishes him off. And we're gonna Locust Swarm dead center where this Wizard is. And he gets absolutely destroyed, blown up by that and the Wind Blast. Being up 2 rounds, I think our team got a little bit cocky. You can see our sword gets jumped on by the rogue. And this game is about to take a turn for the worse. Here we're sitting down to get a little bit of spells back, and we can see it's go time. We're holding our Locust Swarm. Now arguably here, I probably should have focused healing my fighters sooner. But I was hoping my Locust Swarm was going to hit the rogue and get him out of invis, but he was able to sneak up regardless. It was a pretty difficult situation, being 2v3 anyways, so not super likely we're going to win it at that point. We have some decent leeway though, because we're up 2 rounds, so it's 2-1 now. And we get a better spawn where we're closer to the stairs, so we can rush up and get height on these guys. Holding Locust from above because it takes a long time to channel. And I tried to get a sneaky one onto the rogue, but he was smart. He noticed I was doing it and he backed off. So we ended up kind of wasting our Locust Swarm here, which sucked. Here I got snuck up by the Wizard. I thought his footsteps were my teammates' footsteps. That was my bad. Just gonna reset and get our health back. And we can see our fighter is pretty deep here. And we get jumped by the rogue. We kind of popped off the first 2 rounds. And I think that their team kind of smartened up a little bit and decided to dive me because I was a pretty big threat. And it started working quite well for them because I wasn't getting any peel from my team either. We went from being up 2 rounds to now being tied 2-2. Now this game is looking really close, and we need this win if we want to get to Vanquisher. So here I'm looking for the rogue because he's the biggest threat to me. If he gets on me, there's not much I can do. But I see the Wizard steps up. And I look to punish with Locust Swarm. And sure enough, rogue was right below us the whole time. I spent a long time up there looking straight down trying to find him, and I could not see him. So well played to him. It was actually a mistake for us to drop. But we did get a lot of damage off on that Wizard. That Wizard easily lost over half his health from that Locust Swarm. And because the rogue was fully focused on chasing me, my team ended up cleaning up the Wizard. Fighter killed rogue on the back end of him diving onto me. And then my team gets a nice little 2v1 here on the Ranger. Luckily, we pulled through, we got the win, and now we're about one game off of hitting Vanquisher. Getting really close now. This is when I decided to take off Judgment because I was finding I was getting dove by too many rogues in these games, and because I don't have teammates that were coordinated to peel me, I really think I needed the smite for my self-peel. Alright, we got a Warlock and a Barb teammate. This could be the final game that we need to push us into Vanquisher. We're so close. So usually when you have a Warlock, you want to kind of just let him cook a little bit. But he gets dove by the Rogue, unfortunately. And he splits up from me. And kind of gets himself cornered into this Rogue, so I don't have an opportunity to heal him. So here we Locust Swarm the Rogue, and you can see it almost kills him because we kill him in one hit right after. And we end up beating down the Warlock as well. And Barb finishes off the last guy. So off the rip, we're looking to get some damage off with our damage spells. This map is quite difficult because there's so much elevation. It's very easy to have your spells cancel. Like there, it's actually canceled twice. And I screw up and get caught on the torch here. End up taking some free hits. Not ideal. And Warlock is smart. He locks me out. So I can't help my team at all. And this round's kind of doomed at this point. Now we're tied 1-1. We're gonna try to get aggressive here with Locust Swarm. BC Rogue pops out, stabs us. I get out, but my fighter is not so lucky. My poor Warlock is stuck in here. Look at the door open to help him. And we're just trying to keep our distance. Land some Holy Strikes. And then get ready for this Locust Swarm. This is so disgusting. Look at this. Kills Warlock completely and chunks Fighter really hard. So here we're just going to get to full. And then we're going to turn with our Smite. So we want to give him the opportunity to heal. And this guy's kind of a Chad. He shield bashes us. But unfortunately, he's no match for our Smite Warhammer. Final round, same thing. Rogue pops out of Invis. We back up. He invises again. And we're going to hug right side to try and avoid that Rogue. Now that we see him, we're safe to look to get a Locust Swarm. Huge Locust Swarm. Kills Fighter, kills Rogue, chunks out Warlock as well. Now it's an easy 3v1. We're just going to space him out. Another Locust Swarm. Finishes him off. Look at that. Basically kill all three with just our Locust Swarm. Yeah, baby. 781 damage on Cleric. Now you could argue that in these fights I should just be pocketing the Barbarian. And you definitely can. But again, a lot of games you just cannot trust your frontliners. So I'm really trying to focus on pumping as much damage as I can and playing as a carry Cleric. So as you can see, we did not play anywhere near perfect in any of these games. But for the most part, we're making decent decisions. We're getting high value out of our damage spells like Locust Swarm and Holy Strike. And it was enough to get us up to Vanquisher playing solo on Cleric. If you want to learn how you can dominate with Cleric, you're in luck. I have a video that goes over the exact perks and skills I use for this Cleric build. It also goes in depth on my exact gear and how you can build an awesome Cleric kit for Arena or High Roller. It also includes some alternative Cleric builds for high gear. So if you want to go more support oriented, I've got you covered. Or if you'd rather play like a melee brawler, it also covers that. You can check out that video by clicking here or by checking the video description. I'll see you there.